Welcome to a random hockey rink in Kingston, Ontario, the venue for Elite Ontario 2018. I'm Misti Noel, and this is my first ever narrated competition. Alright, so my first event was on this Saturday, and it was individual trampoline. I started off competing the same old compulsory, and it started off pretty well, but as soon as I started bouncing, I felt really nervous, and my stomach started to feel all squeezy, and then the rest of my body was just kind of started shaking all over, and so the compulsory itself, although it was relatively neat, I took forever to actually start it, and then traveled a lot. So there's my three-quarter back, and I really like this Cody kick out. It was very nice, and the back tuck wasn't bad. Brenny tuck wasn't bad. This back pike needs to be a little bit faster. Brenny pike's okay. I'm still sticking with it, and I was pretty proud because I held my legs together in these back fulls and Rudies, but then I killed it in the Rudy and lost sight of the trampoline a little bit and had a little bit of a wonky landing. Overall, it was an okay routine, but not my best, and I was very, very nervous for my optional. So when it was time to compete my optional, I'd been building it up in my head, and I was even more nervous, so I took a long time while I was jumping and getting ready for the routine, and then as soon as I started, I was shaking again, and I'd even made this a little bit more easy. I had changed my routine about a week before the competition. I originally had a connection of half out pike, double tuck, half out tuck, but I simplified that a little bit so that way I could be a bit more confident, and for the most part, I think it worked out pretty well. My connection from the doubles is actually pretty neat. As you can see here, I'm half a pikes down a bit, but the back straight wasn't bad, half a tuck wasn't bad, double tuck needs to kick out a little bit more, but I kept pretty good height into the Brenny straight, and then my legs were together in the back full Rudy. But this last skill right here where I'm about to do, this double full was the bane of my existence, and I couldn't get it no matter how hard I tried, and this was my first time actually competing it, and as soon as I landed, I was immensely proud. Like, all the jello and squishy was gone. I was just so happy. So I went into finals in 4th place, and I was feeling really confident, saying I'm just going to go out there, I'm going to do my best, I'm going to end in 3rd, it'll be great. I didn't complete any routines when I was warming up for prelims, and I didn't complete a routine when I was doing my one touch before finals, but I actually completed the routine in prelims, despite the fact that I was close to the end deck and then got scared and was like, should I complete it, should I not, should I do it, should I don't, and then I just did it, and I was like, just do it, Misti, come on, man. So I was feeling relatively great. I didn't have Cameron spotting me this time because he had to go and coach somebody on double mini, but I had another coach and I liked her, so I was like, okay, here we go. It's going to be great. And so I went for the half out and I was like, oh yeah. I went for the back straight and I'm like, I'm going to complete this again. But then I went to the double tuck. I'm like, okay, I can kick it out. And then I didn't, and then I killed my Brainy straight, which ended up being called as a Brady tuck. So I lost 0.6 in DD there, but I was like, bring it back for the singles. You could do it. And then I went for the double full and I twisted too early and I gainered it. But overall, I think I pulled it back pretty well, and I was disappointed, but still relatively proud for bringing it right back. All right, so I finished trampoline in 6th place, and my next event was on the Sunday, and it was synchro with my synchro partner, Carly. Now, Carly had just broken both of her legs and had been jumping for about 2 weeks, and somehow miraculously had 2 doubles. So we were like, we're going to try our best at Elite Ontario, and it's going to be great. But then we're kind of like, we should probably practice before we go. So we practiced a total of once in a gym where the trampolines weren't side by side, and I'm really proud of our performance. Carly starts the routine very fast, so you can see despite the fact that I might have been nervous or she might have been nervous, our routine just kind of jumped right into it, and our half-outs were in sync, and our singles were in sync, and I was so proud. We're jumping a little low because of the fact that Carly's still getting used to the trampoline, but it was going really well. I got a little bit out of sync in these back straight, Brenny straight double tuck, but I needed a little bit more height to complete the double tuck. And overall, we ended up in 6th for synchro, and that was really great for the setbacks that we'd had. So next up was double mini. My first pass was Brenny double tuck, which I completed once in warm-up and was feeling pretty confident. But as soon as I started going for the pass, my Brenny was pretty great, but my double tuck was severely under-rotated, as you'll see in a second, and the landing was not good. I had to squeeze and fight for it so hard, and I actually ended up going into the yellow, which was a big deduction, but I was happy for not falling over, which I did the last competition, so all good. My next pass was a Rudy back straight, which went fairly decently. Note to self, though, as I'm standing there, I look pretty terrified, and I don't actually smile until I present, so maybe I should smile a bit more. Like, the whole world can see you, Misti. What are you doing? Anyways, this pass was relatively new. I didn't compete it last competition. I did compete it last year, but as I said, some mental blocks have happened, so this was new to me this year, and the back straight was great and a great stick. Only problem was one arm was down in the whole back straight, so that was a bit of a deduction, but that was a comeback from the last pass. That was pretty good. All right, so here we are, headed into finals. I've got 2 passes left, but one of the passes that I have left is one that I've been having a really hard time with recently. I've got some mental blocks for half outs off of the double mini. I'm supposed to be doing back tuck half out, but back tucks just make it ultimately worse. So I'm doing straddle jump, although at that time I didn't know that you can't actually compete straddle jump half out because that counts as an interruption of a pass. So despite the fact that I was like, come on, Misty, you could do it, just go for it, and I just went for it, this pass got a 0, and needless to say, I moved down from first. Yeah, so here we go, about to run for it, and then I'm like, come on, just do it, and the straight jump was pretty good, the straddle jump, not so much, and I threw myself down for that half out, and the landing was so bad, I literally ran away from the landing zone, but once again, I didn't fall, so couldn't have been that bad. All right, so here we are for the last pass. At this point, I didn't know that I wasn't still in first, and everybody had been having a bad mini day. Literally everyone had fallen or taken some major penalties, and I wasn't too confident in a back full spotter, so I decided to change my pass 0.25 seconds before competing, and instead did a back straight Rudy, and back straight was decent, but didn't travel enough, so I had to travel real hard in that Rudy, so the execution wasn't great, and as soon as I landed, I actually jammed my ankle, so you can watch me just kind of limp away as I go and find someone to unjam it, but that was a little painful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was my lead Ontario. 2nd for double mini, 6th for trampoline, and 6th for synchro. Not too shabby, fairly proud. As always, if you like this video, give it a great big thumbs up, and don't forget to click that button to subscribe. See you all later. Peace out.